Okay, I'm starting to record, so don't talk.
The views and opinions expressed by the following program are those of the host, guests, and callers and are not necessarily those of this station or Webster Rock Hill Ministries, its management, or other hosts or underwriting sponsors. Programs presented by KWRH LP are for educational and entertainment purposes only.
Welcome, listeners, to the It's Your Business Show, coming to you every Saturday at 12 noon. Now, whether you're starting your own business or you're already a successful entrepreneur, the It's Your Business Show delivers weekly advice from the best experts to provide you with insightful suggestions for your small business to allow it to thrive in the competitive marketplace. The It's Your Business Show is brought to you by Promo Experts. As a one-stop full-service marketing company, they can help you get noticed with top-notch creative graphic design, marketing strategy, video production, digital marketing, and promotional products to move you forward. Also, Publishing Concepts. Let Publishing Concepts LLC help you get your publishing project off the ground. They're a top-rated full-service multimedia publishing company that offers traditional print publishing, books and magazines, digital media and ebooks, website design and development, social media and marketing services, video production, and more in St. Louis. Okay, audience, here's your hosts, Jim Jump and Dr. Stan Fine.
Good morning, everyone.
Hi, Missy. You go ahead.
Go ahead, Dr. Stan, take us away.
Take us away. All right, this is Dr. Stan, the business doctor, and I'm here with Melissa Coleman, not Jim Jump. Melissa Coleman. Hi, Missy.
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Hey, we're here today on It's Your Business Radio. We come to you Thursdays and Saturdays at noon. We think we're learning our new times on KWRH and KXOK. And we're also on USRadioNetwork.com. So anything we say here, you can find there and listen to our show. So this show will air on Saturday. Go to USRadioNetwork.com and you can click KWRH or KXOK. We're also on YouTube. And at the same time, under KXOK.com, today you'll have just Missy and two invisible seats because we're calling it. And so you can get used to it. The It's Your Business Show is nationwide on the MyGenre Radio Network, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m., AM, 1 p.m. So we're out there and we're everywhere. Today, our show is with Diane Carson of Promo Radio. I want to read a bit about Diane, and then we'll kick it off. All right, Diane Carson is president, owner at Promo Expert from October 2015 to present. She's a certified marketing consultant with over 30 years of marketing expertise. He has a low-cost, affordable, outsourced marketing department for small to medium-sized businesses. The experts at Promo Expert, are a formidable force when it comes to delivering the right marketing programs and initiatives when you need them. She's also a PR expert, product expert, just a bunch of experts, okay? Diane, welcome to the show.
Thank you. A bunch of experts, okay.
We need a bunch of experts, Diane.
She's going to be a bunch of experts today. Like a bunch of experts. Yeah. Hey, Diane, okay. You helped me write a book, and you're in it, and you're an author in it. So let's talk about the book. Yeah, let's talk about the book, How to Promote Your Business with Limited Money, for which you wrote a chapter on PR.
Right. It's a great reference book for anyone who's starting a business, already has a business, and wants to learn how to grow that business. And to have it written by the business doctor, wow, what more could you want? And I was just so flattered when you asked me to do the chapter on PR, because that's my love, and I love to help small businesses to promote themselves. So hopefully your readers will get something out of that chapter.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes, yes. No, this is exciting, really, to have both of you part of this book. For me, you have so many years of business experience, so this is, quite an incredible thing to have done together. So, Diane, why did you think it important that the book include a chapter on PR?
Well, PR is what my former business partner always used to refer to as the soft sell. And so it's the touchy feely face of your business to the public, and obviously you want to put your best foot forward and your best face towards the public. So PR really should always be part of your marketing toolkit. And it isn't that difficult to do, even if you only do one press release a quarter. It's getting your name out there, and it's letting people know that you're around. And if you're lucky, the media will pick it up and will publish it, and it'll be part of your marketing program. So PR is really kind of all encompassing, with marketing.
Hey, Diane, can you tell the audience some of the different types of public relations stuff? I guess I call it. I don't know what to call it. There is.
Sure.
Opportunities.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, when you write a press release and you shoot it out to the media, and you're not going to make page, first front, or maybe you might, but there's no guarantee you're going to make page one of the Business Journal. But there are other, places that people see your name, like your local newspapers, even your church bulletin, or anywhere, where you can get your name out there into the public. And so, you shouldn't always just focus on, I'd like to get on the noon news or the evening news. There's YouTube. We'll talk a little bit about social media later on, but it's a bit of everything, really. And it's just really where the public sees your name and where they see really good, nice things about you. Of course, they could see the opposite, in which case you'd hire a PR person to do what they call put a spin on it, and bring it back to the nice stuff. But really, you don't want to get bad things about your company in the press. So you really kind of rely on a PR expert to twist it and bring it back to where the public feels good about you.
Well, the way I was thinking about it was because I was dealing with public relations when I was with General Dynamics. We'd have building openings, charitable events.
Right, yeah.
Somebody becoming a CEO of a company, damage control, emergency programs.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it isn't just smoke and mirrors.
No, that's right. Absolutely. And it has to be newsworthy. It's not just, we're the best, or, we've made, this list as number one or whatever. It just, needs to be newsworthy. We've had an employee that's celebrating their 25th anniversary with us, or, things like that. So as long as it's newsworthy.
Thank you. Your turn, Dr. Stan.
I'm good, Mitzi. Your turn.
No, you're the odds.
Oh, I'm the odd today. Hey, I'm the odd today, ladies and gentlemen. All right, we're doing a remote interview, so bear with us. All right, so Diane, tell us a little bit about your background, or a lot, and when did you start your career in PR? We'd love to hear the story.
So I started my career in PR in 1970. So I'm telling my age. And I went to work at the British Consulate General in St. Louis, Missouri, as a commercial assistant. But I morphed into there was nobody else there that would take this position, into their communications assistant, or in their communications executive. And my job there was to get media coverage for visiting British dignitaries and businessmen. And also to glean information on what was going on in a 5-state area for a piece that we used to do on a monthly basis that would let the embassy know, what was going on in our area. And it was a really interesting job, as I got to meet a lot of interesting people, including people like Lord Snowden and Prince Charles, and as well as a lot of artists and business people. And so from there, I went to a department store in St. Louis, and I went there to be their publicity director. And my job there was pretty similar. It was to get media coverage again for visiting authors, for events that were held in the store. They used to hold huge events, big international events. And we had Martha Stewart came in to do a cooking demonstration. So I spent the day with her. And I would set up their media appointments. We would get media coverage. And then I would go through and in those days, we used to do newspaper clippings. So we used to gather anything and everything where the company was mentioned in the mostly the newspapers, or, even in the TV news, or wherever we saw had a mention of the company, so that we could show that, we had our name out there and people knew who and what we were. And, I left the world of retail and started my own marketing company, and I had a business partner at the time. My business partner was very sales savvy. She was an ex sales VP for a big chemical company, and the two of us decided to start this marketing company. So she would do the sales part, and I would do the PR part. And so for our clients, our marketing clients, I would get them media interviews for trade shows, speaking opportunities, write-ups on their businesses, put together press kits, set up interviews, and that kind of thing. So, and I'm still doing that today for some of my clients. So yes, I've been doing it for almost 30 years now. So it's been a long time.
But that's impressive in terms of small businesses to be still going after
Hey,
30
Nikki,
years.
Can you talk closer to the microphone?
Yes. Can you hear me now?
I'll still a little faint.
Oh, Mark said, Jimmy said you still got me on your cell phone.
I got what?
Do you have your cell phone on? Jimmy's thinking
Yeah.
that you need to turn that off.
Okay. I'll okay.
Well, I'm still on there.
How's that?
Better. Yeah. Yep. We're all good now.
Okay.
Nothing like some technical
Okay.
difficulties to keep the show interesting.
Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth?
So
Technology.
exactly. So Diane, I have a question for you, just because we are a small business show, but what inspired you, and what could you share with somebody that is looking to leave corporate and go out on their own? What would information you would share with them to inspire them to go for their dream? Because it's a big change going from that corporate setting to your own thing.
Mm-hmm. It is. In my case, I was kind of forced into it because it was in the middle of a huge downsizing, and unfortunately, or fortunately for me, I look at it now. At the time, it wasn't so fortunate. I was downsized. So, and that was my second downsizing, because I left the British consulate when Margaret Thatcher came into office, and she closed 37 posts worldwide, and St. Louis was one of them. So here I am, using all of my contacts to get another position with another company. So I decided, I guess, because I'm very tenacious, no one's going to do that to me again. So I'm going to be in charge of my own destiny. But I was lucky in that I had a pot of money, and so you really, you need to be able to collect at least months salary, I would say, or 6 months of what you can live on. You can't just quit your job one day and then just dive into it, because, well, I guess you could. Some people have done it, but you really need a cushion, or or something to help you survive. In the first, well, we were going the wrong direction, so the first 18 months we made nothing, and then we were assigned score mentors, and they were wonderful. Two guys, ex VPs of one from a big, one came from Ross Saprina, the other one came from Brown Shoe Company. So both, at the high executive, the C-suite level, and they sat down with us and said, "What are you doing?" And we told them, and they just fell off their chairs laughing and said, "Oh my gosh, that's, not the way to do it." So they said, we were actually trying to help inventors to market, their products, but and then they need a lot of PR for products, because a product launch is a really good opportunity for a press release, but it takes a lot to get a product up and running. I mean, there's trademarks, there's you have to do the search on your names, and there's just a lot of, and by the time everything has been put into launch or creating the product and making the product and getting the molds made, wherever you're going to get those made, there's very little money left for marketing. And our business model was that we would wait until the product got launched and was doing like pretty well at market. Well, I don't know if you know anything about manufacturers, but they can work on a product for 10 years before it goes to market. So a lot of these products were, one of them, we did manage to get our client in front of Walmart, but the problem is you need to have the funds to make the product. Once you do get a big purchase, Walmart can almost break you, actually. And so he ran out of funds.
Oh, wow.
So all of these hours researching and putting together marketing pieces. And it was in the days of, websites, and not many people had them. So they were very expensive to put together. And we spent a lot of money helping this client. And we were so proud of ourselves that we got him in front of Walmart, and then he had to admit to us that he didn't have the money to make the product.
Oh, gosh.
So our two store advisors said, "Why don't you go and help people that already have money?" So they said, go to manufacturers who are, going to the next level and making new products. And they don't, they're not quite, they were between 10 and 20 million in sales. And so that was our sweet spot. And we had a wish list of 300 potential clients. And every quarter we would send out a piece of direct mail. And when we would get a new client, we would put out a press release that we had a new client and what we were going to help them with. And then once we started with them, we would do press releases about a new website, a press release about the product, a press release about where we got the product into. I mean, really, you don't need to be an expert to do all that. You can do it yourself, but it's time consuming. And so, if you find you don't have the time, it's best to hire somebody who knows what they're doing. But small businesses, there's no need to think that, oh, well, they're not going to pay attention to me because I'm not, Ralston Purina, I'm not, Boeing or whoever it is these days that, are getting all the coverage. Media needs stories, and, they're always looking for stories. So as long as it's newsworthy, and, maybe you have a new product that's going to, really solve a problem, and or as a cure for something or whatever it is. But you do need to, it's a really good way. I'm not going to say it's free. It sort of is free, but if you have to pay somebody to write the press release, then obviously you have to take that into account. But it is one way of getting, it's third party validation, basically, is what it is. Without, if you get an ad, then people know that you've written the ad, You said it's the best product in the world, but if you get a story about your product or your services, then people will know that, hey, that must be really good because, the media is writing about it. So,
Yes. No, I thank you for sharing. I think it's like really important for our listening audience to really hear those stories, which kind of dovetails into that next question is how
mhm.
a public relations campaign has helped to build a client's business.
Sure.
Yeah,
So,
that's a good
um,
question.
yeah, well, one of my clients was she was a retired executive, and she had become certified in a special exercise program. And I met her at actually my church's fashion show lunch. And she asked me what I did. So I told her, I help entrepreneurs and small businesses, to promote their business through PR. And she said, I think I really would like to chat with you more. So we sat down and I started to work with her. We talked about what she had done, how she'd started her business. She had one class in the basement of her church, and she had advertised that, obviously internally. And she said, I really would like to, use my expertise and help ladies, to learn this program. And but I want to be in more places than just the one place. So I started to work with her. I did the research. We found some health fairs. We got a table in a health fair. We designed a logo. We did a whole color campaign. We designed a big poster. We designed a trifold, all in the same colors, and it really made her look like a big corporate health company. And it was just her. And we had a table, and we got her a table throw with her logo on the front, and so we started to collect names. And at that time, you really needed to have somebody's permission to put them on an email list. So we gave away, I think it was a book on her exercise program and a DVD. And we collected these names. We asked them if it was okay to put them on a list. They approved. We started a newsletter, which, that's another way of PR. If you can do just, send out an e-newsletter to your database. And so monthly we would do a newsletter. And then we sent out a press release because eventually, because we had her, we had the newsletter out, and people would say, can you come to my neck of the woods? Can you come to my area in St. Louis? And so we would say, well, where would you suggest? So then we would approach those people, and we would say, listen, we have X amount of people interested in joining a class. Would you think about taking us on? They did. And then it was sort of grassroots. And then when she opened up a new venue, then we would send out a press release. And the media would see her name out there, in a lot of the different local newspapers. And we got a call from one of the big ones, and they said, we're looking for, something different, a new exercise program. It's January. Everybody's going to the gym. We'd like to interview you. And she got a full-page article in one of the newspapers with her photograph on the other side of it, full page. And from there, she went from one venue to, she was in 8 different classes. Then pandemic hit. And she said, well, okay, gyms are all closed. I can't go anywhere. So she started online, and now she has, she's doing it all over the United States. She's got clients everywhere. We started with her social media, which is another form of PR, and her LinkedIn, and we built business on PR. We didn't run one ad. So, it is possible to do that.
Yeah, Missy, how we doing on time? Can I squeeze another question
Oh,
in?
yeah, you've still got time.
Okay. So, hey, Diane,
Mhm.
what is the difference between PR and advertising?
Okay, so advertising is where you, would approach, excuse me, a newspaper, and you would purchase space. You would get a graphic designer to do a really nice picture or image, and you would come up with advertising copy, which is, really would, suck the reader in. And so people know that that's paid for, and you are the one that is paying for that in order to get, them to become a customer. PR is, as I said, if you're lucky, and they usually will publish it, you're published in the newspaper or in the media, or you're on television, or you're on a radio interview, and people hear you and they say, well, okay, if the media think that, that person is expert enough to have them on a radio program, feature them in a TV interview, have a write-up about them in one of the local newspapers or magazines, then that must be a pretty good service or product. So it's third-party validation is what they call it. And it's almost like your neighbor trying out a product and saying, hey, try this, try it, you'll like it. And that's, it's almost somebody else saying, this product or service is really good, and I'm doing a really nice story about you. It's more of a story than it is just an ad saying, hey, we're the best, we're the biggest, we offer this. It's just a totally different angle of your service or your product.
Yes.
I want to say to people, in my mind, after a lot of years out there, that advertising, in my mind, is paid for, and public relations is not paid for. So if you get something in the paper, magazine, on the air, how does that fit with what you think?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Except for, as I say, if you pay for somebody to, to contact the media on your behalf, and get, set you up with interviews and things like that, then, but PR is not guaranteed. It isn't. And advertising is, because you purchase the space. But PR, as long as it's, it's relevant and it's newsworthy, then chances are, someone's going to pick it up somewhere.
And
so, for instance, I just sent out a press release on a client who is a dating coach for people over 50. She's a dating and relationship coach, and she just wrote a book on dating over 50. And I sometimes use a news. It's just a distribution service, an online one. And I was looking at the statistics today, and I also, in addition to that, I do send to the local media because she's having a book signing, and she's putting on a couple of seminars. So those press releases go to the local media. I also uploaded it to the news distribution service, and I looked at the stats yesterday, and over 1,000 people have gone to her website because they've clicked on a link in that press release, and it's taken them back to her website. So even if it's somebody in Hawaii, which I think there was one person, they can order her book by mail. And, they can watch her seminars online because she does them on YouTube. So again, that's PR, and it really hasn't cost her a lot to do it.
Right. I just want to let you both know we are coming up on our break. So, Diane, we've got about a minute or so left. Will you share with everybody how they can reach you and get to know you and utilize your services?
Sure. They can contact me, Diane, D-I-A-N-E, at Promo, P-R-O-M-O, experts, X-P-E-R-T-Z.com, or they can call me at 636-458-5241.
All righty. Well, we are coming up on our first half. We're going to take a short break here, and we will be back with our host, Dr. Stan, our guest, Diane Carson, and just a few moments.
Do you want to to become a radio show host, or do you want to create a radio show? Well, Dr. Stan Fine can help you to have your own radio show and put you on 100 cities daily across the U.S. And you can immediately start recording from a live radio studio. As a radio industry veteran, Dr. Stan Fine has 12 years of experience and has produced and hosted over 1,000 radio shows with over 10 million listeners. Dr. Stan Fine knows how to make this happen for you. He's a pro, and he can turn your dreams into a reality. Dr. Stan Fine will help you with everything from learning how to promote your show, develop a host persona, interview techniques, market your show on social media, teach you how to get guests and sponsors, and more. Dr. Stan Fine can put you on the air nationwide daily to 100 cities. If you're interested in making your dream come true, if you want to see how it all works, then give Dr. Stan Fine a call at 314-710-8413. That's 314-710-8413. You've got nothing to lose, and Dr. Stan Fine can help make your nationwide radio dreams come true. If you're looking for a new informative health and lifestyle show to gain knowledge and inspiration to help guide your journey to think, work, and live more powerfully, then you need to listen to Sage Advice with Melissa. It's live each Thursday from 10 to 11. Now, whether you're trying to improve your life from a mental, physical, or spiritual journey, Sage Advice with Melissa Coleman, CEO of Sage Skincare, delivers weekly advice from industry experts to provide you with insightful suggestions to allow you to thrive with a better quality of life. Melissa's mission? To guide you through the uncharted waters of health and wellness and to give you a voice to help improve your life. So be sure to tune in to Melissa on KWRH 92.9 FM every Thursday at 10 a.m. You'll be glad you did.
Hey, listeners, saying thanks to your customers is nice and polite, but expressing your gratitude in memorable and ongoing ways can boost your business. At Promo Experts LLC, we exceed our customers' expectations. For over 20 years, our product knowledge and experience has helped them with their marketing initiatives and trade show graphics. We are happy to put that experience to work for you. Quality products, great customer service, and prices are our number one priority. We work with you to find unique, creative, and new ideas that fit your image and expectations, helping you build strong relationships with your customers. When you select Promo Experts as your marketing partner, we help you to see more than the big picture. For more information about this exciting opportunity, contact Diane Carson, President, at 636-458-5241. That's 636-458-5241. Let Promo Experts help you to move your business brand beyond the bland. Have you always wanted to write your own book but don't know where to start? Publishing Concepts, a publishing company located right here in St. Louis, offers everything from consulting, book printing, copyrights, ISBNs and barcodes, print book layout, ebook and iBook layout, graphic design, cover design, ghostwriting, typing and editing, distribution, marketing, and more for an affordable price. Visit publishingconceptsllc.com or just Google Publishing Concepts to get started today, or call 314-781-8880. That's 314-781-8880. Publishing Concepts. We help you sell more books.
In today's economy, there are more people looking to buy and sell businesses than ever before. When a company owner needs to sell their business, they can't just stick a for sale sign in the window. They need the assistance of a business broker to locate and vet potential buyers. On the other side, buyers rely on the broker to help facilitate the process of evaluating potential businesses and franchises for sale. A Transworld Business Advisor is the solution for both scenarios. Transworld Business Advisors focus on three core concepts: business brokerage, franchise consulting, and franchise development. Transworld has specialized in the sale of business and commercial real estate. Today, Transworld Business Advisors is a global network of brokers offering a turnkey solution for those that want to build a solid business and future for themselves while maintaining a balanced quality of life. With our comprehensive training program, full marketing support, and local field support, you won't have to start from scratch. Our trained experts and members will help you every step of the way. Transworld Business Advisors has 40 plus years of experience, 10,000 plus businesses sold, and 600 plus brokers, 250 offices worldwide. For a free initial consultation, call Charlie Scarlett, business broker, or Billy Rowland, business broker, at 636-400-6100. Again, that's Charlie Scarlett, business broker, or Billy Rowland, business broker, at 636-400-6100.
Welcome back to part 2 of the It's Your Business radio show. We are a business radio show helping small business help itself. And we are here today with my co-host, Dr. Stan Fine, producer of the show. And hey, Dr. Stan.
Hey, Missy, I'm here.
All right. And we are also here today with Diane Carson of Promo Experts, and we are talking about everything public relations today. So, Diane, when we headed out for break, we were talking about the difference between PR and advertising, which that difference is advertising, you pay for it, and PR,
Missy.
huh?
Hey, Missy.
Yep.
Hey, audience, if you go to KXOK.com, you can see Missy by herself on the U.S. Radio Network. She's sitting in that corner and she's looking at 2 empty mics, but that's us. We're there.
I'm
We're just
pretending
not
you're
there.
both here. In
Yeah,
my mind, I have your faces.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. You are good.
Lonely? Are you lonely in there, Missy?
I have Jimmy here with me, so I am always good.
Okay.
Yes.
Jimmy.
Yes.
I
Yes.
wish I was there.
Jimmy's keeping us rocking and rolling here. So, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, I was there.
So Diane, as we get back into PR, is social media the new PR? Because everything is social media now.
Oh, absolutely. Yes. And there's a difference, really kind of for business. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So for businesses, well, I know a lot of people are selling products on TikTok. And I saw this morning on the Today Show, one of the makeup companies got one of their products featured on the Today Show, and they said, "Oh, we saw this on TikTok." So, I know that a lot of products are really doing really well on that platform. But if you're a more professional person and you have a more serious product, I guess, not that makeup isn't serious, you really should focus on 1 or 2 platforms. With my clients, I focus on LinkedIn and Facebook mostly. Because those are the 2 platforms that their particular target audience are interacting with.
Right.
So if you can find out, and a good way to find out is see where your competitors, where their target audience is, what platforms are they on. And that's a good way of finding out if that's a good platform for you. Facebook is really more the face of your business. It's the culture. It's you and your employees going to the axe throwing place for a night of good fun, or having a company picnic, or celebrating somebody's 25th anniversary. And also, anything that's really that you want the general public to view as the culture of your company. LinkedIn is more, it's more the business corporate point of view. It's more serious. So, that's promotions that you've had, records that you've broken, whatever sales numbers that you've hit, anything like that. And then if you do a press release along with that, you put a link into your website. And when you go to LinkedIn, you'd put a little blurb up there. Oh, it was just so wonderful to celebrate Bob's 30th anniversary with our company. And congratulations, Bob. And then you click on the link and it takes you to the press release. People are going to your website. Google pays attention to your website if you pay attention to it.
Mhm.
And then a blog is a really good way, to get PR, because you can post your blog. And actually, LinkedIn is now paying attention to newsletters. So newsletters are part of PR. If you write a newsletter and write it in LinkedIn, it will get way more views on LinkedIn than if you just didn't publish it in there. But, if you just published it and hope that people come to your website. So the way to get people to go organically, raise your website in the rankings, is to post it on your LinkedIn with a link. And then, most people, they're curious and they'll click on it and go take a look at it. Oh, see what this company is doing or what they're all about or who their CEO is or all that kind of thing. So, yes, social media is very much, it actually is the new PR, because it is one really good way of getting third-party validation. Like I said, your neighbor will tell you about a new product. That's great. But if you go on your Facebook and you see a product on there that everybody's just raving about, well, guess what? You're going to go out and try it.
Mhm.
Or a restaurant or a play or whatever it is,
Yes.
as long as if other people are confirming that it's a great product or a service, then you're bound to go out and want to try it.
Mhm.
Missy, she's actually answering the "Can you explain?" question.
I know.
Yeah. So rather than me repeat it again, why don't we, if you don't mind, go to the next one,
Yes.
because it fits in.
Okay. So,
Are you taking
our
it
next
away,
question.
Dr.
So hang
Stan?
on, Diane. Go ahead, Missy.
Okay.
Are you going to do the next one, Dr. Stan?
No, you are, honey.
Oh, okay.
Fine.
How has the
Explain
media
this.
world changed since you began your career?
Right. Well, the internet is.
It's changed lots.
That's it. The internet. That's the only answer.
No. In the old days, we all had relationships with media people, with writers and producers and whatever show or newspaper or magazine. And so we would, once you establish that relationship and they trusted you, you would, write your press release, you'd follow up with a phone call, you'd schedule, the show and take your guest or maybe get yourself on there, whatever, however you were doing your PR. Nowadays, the media is all over the internet. They're looking for, their editor says, write a story on people being scared to ride on planes. And so they're going to go out there and they're going to look for psychologists or flight attendants or anyone that is out there on the internet that's either writing a blog, has a podcast, has written a book. And so they'll go and they'll approach you. So it's kind of the other way around. It's more in-ground marketing rather than outgoing.
Mm-hmm.
Is really what it is. So yeah, the media is going to go look for somebody that can be their spokesperson, that they can quote or that they can, bring on the show that's an expert. And the way they find them is they go out and look for them. So if you are publishing things, if you're writing a blog, if you're doing a podcast, chances are that you are going to get found at some point.
Yeah.
So that's
begs the question, Diane, our next question is PR guaranteed coverage? That's a good one. And if it's not, why not? Is it guaranteed coverage? And if it's not, why not?
Well, I think we stressed how it has to be newsworthy. And also, one good way of getting coverage is make it interesting to the media. it's always good to have what they call a hook. And so, if you are a psychologist who say you've been called on, or you've written a book about people that are scared to fly, but maybe it's just kind of plain, and it's how to deal with the fear of flying. But they want to know, what would our listeners want to know? So maybe you, when you send in your press release, you write a little note that says how to avoid being overstressed on an airplane, or how to avoid, being how. It's more of a how-to rather than a kind of a scientific background of people being scared to fly, that kind of thing. So if it's interesting and it has a hook, you probably will get somebody interested. If it's just plain boring old stuff, it's another ribbon cutting. Okay. But if it's ribbon cutting about, a store that is very unusual, we brought a grocery store into a food desert. Well, wow, that's an interesting ribbon cutting. So that probably would get coverage, but not every press release is going to be printed. However, it doesn't mean that just because you wrote a press release and nobody was interested in it and nobody published it, you should stop writing them and submitting them. Because if you submit enough of them, you establish yourself as an expert, so that when a story comes up about, say, food deserts, and you've written one saying that you're planning to put, a fresh grocery store in one of these areas that are food deserts, then the editor's going to say, I've been getting these press releases from this guy who's telling me about, purchasing the square footage, getting all his equipment put in, what he's going to put in there, what kind of events he's going to have in there. Maybe now's the time, that we should maybe chat with him and talk about his store. So just keep submitting it and keep putting it online, because just because an editor doesn't see it, or a producer doesn't see it, doesn't mean to say that the public doesn't see it. So you just need to get your name out there no matter what.
Mm-hmm. No, that's great information. Diane, how, just staying in the press topic, how difficult is it to get press coverage? And in order to get that press coverage, do you have to pay for that service?
No, you should not have to pay for press coverage. You might have to pay somebody to write a press release and maybe make a few phone calls for you, but no, no, you wouldn't pay for press coverage. Again, we're getting into the difference between advertising and publicity. But it's not the easiest thing to do. You have to be trustworthy, obviously, and likable, and be able to talk to somebody on camera. So you have to do have self-confidence, and be able to be interviewed and know your stuff. Don't bug the media, because that really they're very busy and they get thousands of press releases a day. So just because your particular subject matter didn't interest them doesn't mean to say that the next time you send something, they won't be interested in it. So don't get discouraged, I guess is what I'm trying to say. That eventually it will work if you work on it enough. If you send out.
I have a database with over 70 Post-Dispatch writers that I've got over time, emails, phone numbers, everything. So
Right.
if I have a press release, and let's say somebody in St. Louis wants you to do St. Louis, Chicago, and Kansas City, can you give press releases to local newspaper and TV stations by city. You have the ability
Right.
to go city by
Right.
city.
And one of the tricks is to find, go to the website, look at who the reporters are, figure out, what their interests are. What areas do they cover? I mean, for instance, my dating coach, there's no point in my sending a press release to the person that handles real estate for the newspaper.
Right.
Right.
So, do your research. A lot of PR companies like you, Dr. Stan, they'll have, they will have databases and they do have contacts. And so they can help you out, by getting you press coverage. But they know who to send them to. It has to be relevant and it has to go to, the one person that might be interested in covering, what you want to talk about. So, it's kind of like, anything else. If you highly target the person that, would potentially be interested in your service or product, then you're more likely to get coverage. But, as I say, just because, we did a story about that, last week, then in which case, forget it. You're not going to get any coverage. So, for instance, Valentine's Day is coming up. So we're going hot and heavy with my dating coach. We're, we're trying to get her coverage in the lifestyle editors, the people who, cover things like that on the news, radio interviews, single, radio announcers who would potentially be interested in even talking and chatting with her or maybe even looking at her book. So it's kind of, like I say, do your homework and really target the people who would be interested in what you're trying to promote.
So can you tell our listeners how they can take advantage of current trends to gain media?
Sure. It's sort of like we talked about. It's like, if God forbid there is a plane disaster, or, for instance, and I hate to bring this up, some of the school shootings, if you're a psychologist that works with children, and maybe you, I hope not, but maybe you even had experience with that kind of thing, then you would, write a press release about how you can help people, that you've gone through traumatic experiences. And what your background is, and then chances are that you would be interviewed because they're all over those stories, and they're trying to put together features on whatever the latest news story is. So if you use what's going on in the news to your advantage, and you can show that you're an expert in that field, then chances are that you will get an opportunity to be featured.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool.
So what does a PR campaign consist of, Diane?
Well, nowadays, I think we've talked about social media. It does include social media. Of course, it's a press release. Make sure that, a press release always has the who, what, where, and when. And it's always best to put the who, what, where, and when in the first paragraph. Because if the media person doesn't get past the first paragraph, then they've read everything that you want them to know about what you're promoting in that first paragraph. Then you can go on to explain a little bit more about if it's an event. You can talk about the event. You can do always have some kind of a comment in there from one of the top people. The CEO or the executive director or whoever it is. We're talking about an event here. And then a little bit of a background about the organization. And then at the very end, how they can get in touch with you again. Always have somebody that will be available immediately, to help the press.
Well,
Whoever
Diane, I'm going to take a step backward. If I am a speaker, public speaker, and I'm teaching seminars, and I'm giving speeches, is there such a thing as a Speakers Bureau portfolio or speaker kit portfolio a press kit that you can send to people? Tell us about that for a moment.
Yeah, it's a background kit. Yes, and when you're trying to get to be a featured speaker for an event, obviously you need to contact them at least 6 months ahead because they're organizing this probably that far ahead and they're putting together their speakers list. I mean, don't wait till 2 weeks before the event, and hope to get on the venue. So a picture, a headshot, a nice headshot, a professional headshot, a press release about you, or a backgrounder. You know, what is your what's your experience? Where have you spoken before? What groups have you spoken to show that you are competent to speak on whatever subject group you're speaking to, and then 3 potential subjects that you can speak on, and then that way, in other words, do the work for them so that they're not calling you up and saying, oh, can you tell me about your background and what is it you think you can speak on? And can you speak on this? You've already done the job for them. So you put together what they call a speaker's package. It can be a PDF downloadable file. It doesn't have to be, in the old days, it used to be in a nice, shiny pocket folder and put in the mail. But you can, print it up and do that after the fact. But, when you email them, attach the PDF to the email and say, attached is a backgrounder or a speaker's package, that explains more about my background and some of the topics that I can speak on. And then that way, you're making it easy for the person who's looking for the speakers to hire you, or ask you to come in. And speaking is a great PR opportunity as well, because, a lot of people, they don't get paid to speak. Some people do. But, if you're, I guess, Tom Cruise or somebody, they probably pay you. But, you really should try to get as many speaking opportunities as you can, because they are business opportunities. Mm-hmm. And, and if you make it easy for whoever's booking the speakers to know who and what you are, what your background is, what you can speak on, and put it all together in a nice, neat package, then it will push you up to the top of the crowd, people that are trying to get on their platform.
Yes. Dr. Stan, I just want to let you know, since you're not here in the studio, we're coming up on 3 minutes before our end.
Why don't we do a wrap-up question, Missy? What do you think?
That sounds good.
Okay, why don't you run with it?
Oh, okay. So Diane, why would our listeners consider using PR to promote their business?
Well, as I said before, it really should be considered to be part of their marketing toolbox. Free publicity will get you into so many more venues than an ad will. So say you spend $5,000 on an ad, which you probably could, in a trade magazine,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
which actually a lot of them will put them on their website. You're really better off to shoot out a press release to over 5,000 media outlets, because you're really getting way more coverage, than actually paying for an ad. I'm not saying advertising is bad. It isn't, because advertising is still, it's still out there. But to consider PR, it's third-party validation. It's saying, hey, I know what I'm doing. I'm an expert, and it's letting way more people see information about your company.
Yes. So Diane, before we get out of here, because we are down to our final 2 minutes, share with everybody how to reach you. And again, Diane can do full marketing plans and your PR. So she is full service. So reach out to her if you need some help.
Okay, thank you, Missy. I really would like to, I know they can email me at diane@promoexpert.com, but I also would like to say, pick up how to promote your business with limited money,
Yes.
Because it will help them. It gives them full rounded idea of how they can use PR in their marketing programs. And Dr. Stan and Jim Jump have done an amazing job of making it a reference book for anyone who's thinking about setting up a business or is trying to get to the next level.
Yes. All right, everybody. We are going to be turning it back over to the station. I'm going to say goodbye to Dr. Stan and Diane.
Thank you, everybody, for a great show.
Yes.
For having me.
We'll be
so
back
much.
with you next week. Thanks, Diane.
Thanks, Missy. Thanks, Dr. Stan. Bye-bye.
You're
Bye-bye.
welcome. Thank you.